that problem after this lecture. Now, next is Thevenin's theorem with dependent sources. In BEE, you have studied this Thevenin's theorem with independent sources only. In that, you have to find only VTH and RTH. So here, the steps are something different than the Thevenin's theorem with independent sources. Now, first we will see what is the statement of that Thevenin's theorem. It states that any two terminals of a network can be replaced by equivalent voltage source and equivalent series resistance. Any two terminals of the network can be replaced by equivalent voltage source and equivalent series resistance. But how to find that voltage source and series resistance? So the voltage source is the voltage across the two terminals with load if any removed. Means how to find voltage source by load removed. The voltage source is the voltage across that two terminals with load removed. The series resistance is a resistance of a network measured between two terminals with load removed. And also constant voltage source and current sources are replaced by their internal resistances. Means voltage source replaced by zero resistance, that is short circuit, and current source is replaced by infinite resistance, that is open circuit. So by taking this one simple example, you will come to know how to solve these problems based on the using Thevenin theorem. Let's say, see this example. Yeah. Now here you have to convert. Suppose you have to find the current flowing through 20 ohm. 20 ohm is your load resistor, and you have to find current flowing through that 20 ohm using Thevenin's theorem. Then how you will proceed? Since there is a dependent source is also there in this circuit. Now the steps are different with these dependent sources. So you have to replace this circuit by the two components, that is VTH and RTH. So VTH is the voltage across that two terminals, that is voltage between the A and B with load removed. And RTH is the voltage between that two terminals, A and B. Now see here, whenever there are dependent sources, the steps are changed. First step is to find VTH. So replace RL and place their open circuit. That is remove RL and find the voltage between A and B. Now for this particular circuit, you have to find the voltage A and B. Voltage between A and B, that is VTH for this particular circuit. And so this will be the voltage between point A and B for this particular circuit in step 1. Now here in step 2, can you see this step 2 diagram? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now in step 2, you have to find current IN, or you can also say ISC. The same you are doing in Norton's theorem. In Norton's theorem, you are finding the current flowing through that particular terminal with load removed. So here you have to find the current flowing through A and B. So that will be your Norton's current or short circuited current, ISC or IN. So here in second step, you are You have to find current flowing through that particular points A and B, and then you have to find third step, that is your RTH. VTH upon IN will give you the RTH, because dependent sources are there. Dependent sources are active all the time unless and until their control variable becomes 0. So that's why here with dependent sources we have to follow this procedure. Step 1 VTH, step 2 IN, and step 3 RTH. In BEE, Thevenin's theorem with only independent sources. So in that we can only finding VTH and RTH. For calculating RTH, we are replacing all the voltage source and current source by their internal resistances. Then we get the value of VTH and RTH. And in Norton's theorem, we are making the points A and B short circuit. We are finding the ISC, or you can say IN, and then we are finding the RN, that is Norton's equivalent resistance, which is same as RTH, by replacing all the voltage sources by their internal resistance. So this is the difference. So here, because of the dependent sources, we have to follow this procedure. Step 1, find VTH. Step 2, find IN. And step 3, RTH. And then you can draw the Thevenin's equivalent circuit for given terminals A and B. So this is VTH and this is RTH, means you replace the circuit between the points A and B, and then you connect your load resistor RL. So by Ohm's law, in this particular diagram, you can find out the current flowing through the load, that is 20 ohm, VTH upon RTH plus 20. So this is a Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Thevenin's and Norton equivalent circuit is used to reduce your network. Means you can replace your network in only, you can, as per the statement, any two terminals of a network can be replaced by equivalent voltage source and equivalent series resistance. Now you can see, if Norton's theorem asked for a same problem, then Norton's equivalent circuit will be like this. Current IN, that is your ISC, that we have already found in step 2, and then parallel RTH. And then by using current divider rule, you can find out the current flowing through the 20 ohm. Total current IN into opposite resistor, that is RTH upon RTH plus 20. This is a current divider rule. So this is Norton's equivalent circuit. In Norton's equivalent circuit, any two terminals of the network is replaced by equivalent current source and parallel resistance. So this is a Norton's equivalent circuit. So Thevenin and Norton both are source transformation of each other. All of you know the source transformation. Voltage in series with resistor can be replaced by current source and parallel resistor. So this is source transformation. So Thevenin and Norton is source transformation of each other. Now here we have already find the value of IN and VTH and then RTH. So you need to draw Thevenin's equivalent circuit if asked, and if asked Norton's equivalent theorem circuit, then you can draw in this way. So have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem. You can see this Norton's theorem. It states that any two terminals of the network can be replaced by an equivalent current source and equivalent parallel resistance. How to find current source? The current the constant current is equal to the current which would flow in the short circuit placed across the terminals. And the parallel resistance is the resistance of network when viewed from the open circuited terminals after all voltage and current sources have been removed and replaced by internal resistance. So for Norton theorem, for Thevenin theorem, and for maximum power transfer theorem, all the three steps are same. Step 1, find VTH, then find IN, and then draw the equivalent circuit. Then find RTH. So here in this diagram, you can see you have to replace this circuit by the Norton's equivalent circuit. That is by ISC and RTH. This is not RN, this is ISC, and this is RTH. So have you understood this, Thevenin and Norton? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now see here, we will see first problem for Thevenin's equivalent network. Obtain Thevenin equivalent network for terminals A and B. Obtain Thevenin equivalent network for terminals A and B. A and B terminals are given. So you have to convert your circuit into two components, VTH and RTH only. So our first step is calculation of VTH. Okay, calculation of VTH. VTH is at point A and B. VTH is the voltage between point A and B. Now there is dependent sources is also there for Vx, and Vx is the voltage across this 2 ampere, and you can also say this Vx is voltage addition of the voltage of 2 volt and 2 ohm. Vx can be, because Vx is parallel to this two branches, 2 ampere and 2 ohm and 2 volt का जो एक branch है उसको. So first we have to find VTH. VTH, for finding VTH, we need to apply KVL in that blue color का line जो है. In that way we have to apply KVL. So for applying KVL, we should know the current flowing through 2 ohm, because there is no current flowing through 1 ohm, because this between A and B there is an open circuit, so no current is flowing. So since we have to apply KVL in this particular direction, since current source is there between two meshes, so superposition is super mesh is formed there, and we have to apply KVL in that particular direction. So for that we should know the current flowing through 2 ohm. Now for understanding purpose, this 2 ampere can flow in this particular direction only, and in that mesh 1 only. You can see in that green arrow, 2 ampere is flowing in that mesh 1 only, because in mesh 2 there is open circuit. So just remember this particular part, and Vx is the voltage across that 2 ampere. So if you apply KVL here in this particular branch, then you will get the value of Vx. Then negative to positive, and I am taking the same direction for understanding purpose. So negative to positive, I am getting Vx, then positive to negative minus 2 I1, 2 into I1, this is my I1 is flowing through that, and positive to negative minus 2 is equal to 0. So here I get the value of Vx is Vx is equal to 2 plus 2I1. And since I1 is equal to 2 ampere, I1 is equal to 2 ampere. Okay. Because I have kept the direction of I1 same as 2 ampere, that's why I am writing I1 is equal to 2 ampere, that is in anti-clockwise direction. So that's why I1 is equal to 2 ampere. And if I substitute I1 here, I am getting the value of Vx is 6 volt. 6 volt. So from observation, we have to find the value of Vx is 6 volt. Now apply KVL in the super mesh in this particular direction, clockwise direction. So positive to negative, negative to positive, start with 2 volt, negative to positive 2 volt, then negative to positive plus 2I1, and then since 1 ampere से कोई भी करंट जाता नहीं है, so no need to take 1 ampere, but you have to consider this voltage source minus to negative to positive plus 4 Vx, and then positive to negative minus. You can see here 2 plus 2I1 plus 4Vx minus Vth is equal to 0. Now you can substitute value of Vx 6. So you get Vth is equal to 30 volt. Have you understood this part? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So Vth is equal to 30 volt. Yeah. Now step 2, calculation of IN. Now for finding IN, or you can also say ISE, you have to place a short circuit between point A and B, and you have to find current flowing through that. Now circuit changes. See, step 1 circuit is different, step 2 circuit is different. So you can change your assumption here also. But whatever facts that have given in the problem itself, that should be the same. Assumption can be different. Now here I am assuming I1 and I2 both are flowing in the clockwise direction for this particular circuit. So this is IA and IB, both are flowing in the clockwise direction. What is my target here? I have to find IN, and IN is same as IB. So I have to find IB. Now all of you know the super mesh. So before going for since 2 ampere current is common between mesh 1 and mesh 2, so here forms a super mesh. So but before going for super mesh, we have to find the value of control voltage Vx, that we will find afterwards. Let's from current source we get one value, 2 is equal to IB minus IA. 2 ampere direction, IB direction is same. So that's why I can write 2 is equal to IB minus IA. So I can write minus IA plus IB is equal to 2, which is my equation number 1. Okay. Then apply KVL in super mesh. After applying KVL in super mesh, I will get negative to positive 2. Now I am writing the polarity positive negative that I have got because of the current IA. So 2 minus positive to negative minus 2 IA. Then now current flowing through 1 ohm. there is current IB which is flowing through 1 ohm. So minus 1 IB, and then negative to positive plus 4 Vx is equal to 0. So in this way we get the one equation, but what is the value of Vx? See here, what is the value of Vx? That you have to find first, because we have to substitute the value of Vx here. Now consider this particular concept. If 2 volt, 3 volt is in series, and you have to find the value of Vb with respect to ground, then you can directly say 2 plus 3 is 5. So similarly, you can see this 2 volt and 2 ohm, and Vx is after that. So Vx is the voltage between that point X and ground. Point X and ground. So if you apply KVL in this particular part, you will get the value of Vx. So how you will get the value of Vx? Then apply KVL in this particular part. So because of current I1, the current flowing through 2 is I1. So negative to positive 2, then positive to negative minus 2 I1, and then positive to negative minus Vx is equal to 0. So Vx is equal to 2 minus 2 Ia for this particular diagram. Value of Vx is 2 minus 2 Ia. 2 minus 2 Ia is the value of Vx. Have you understood this part?
Yes, sir.
So in this way, we get the value of Vx is 2 minus 2a, and you can substitute the value of Vx here in this super mesh equation. So after solving these two equations, after substituting the value of Vx 2 minus 2a, 2ia, we get this equation 10ia plus 10 is equal to 10. This is equation number 2. So from equation number 2, 1 and 2, we get these two values. I1 is equal to 0.73 ampere. I2 is equal to 2.73 ampere. Sorry, this is not I1, I2. This is IA and IB. IA 0.73 ampere and IB is 2.73 ampere, and IB is your IN. So IN is equal to 2.73 ampere. So have you understood this part?
Yes, sir.
So you got this value of IN, and now what is RTH? RTH is nothing but VTH upon IN, because VTH is the voltage drop across AB and IN is the current flowing from A to B. So RTH is the resistance between A and B. So RTH is VTH upon IN is equal to 30 upon 2.73, that is 10.98 ohm, that is 11 ohm. So in this way, your final step number 4 is Thevenin's equivalent circuit. If asked Thevenin's equivalent circuit, you can draw in this way: 30 volt and 10.98 ohm A and B. So in this way, you have replaced your circuit. Okay, and if asked Norton's theorem, Norton's equivalent, then you have to draw this circuit: 2.73 ampere going in this direction from A to B, and then RTH. So have you understood this? Both the steps are same for Thevenin's and Norton, because of dependent sources are active all the time. So that's why we have to follow step 1 VTH, step 2 ISC or IN, and step 3 RTH, and then step 4 is Thevenin's equivalent circuit or Norton equivalent circuit. समझा क्या आपको सबको? हेलो?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, एक मिनट है, मैं जस्ट अटेंडेंस का देखता हूँ, एक मिनट.